Absolutely Not is normalizing the standard, period. If you bring the whole table, then you can sit with us. We're bringing all the uncomfy combos and creating an unapologetic space to drive the culture forward respectfully. Because it seems like everyone wants to keep their opinions in the comment section. Absolutely not. What is up, world? It's your girl Allura with your favorite podcast, Absolutely Not, hosted by yours truly. We'll have weekly episodes that you can look forward to. Today on the show, I have a special guest, my inspiration and my mentor, Jen C. Will. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Of course, look, we're even matching today.
Yes,
we're matching
pink
the
girls.
set. Look at us. On Wednesdays, we wear pink, but today we chose Tuesday.
I love it.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
So I'm from Dallas. Actually, if you are in Dallas, I claim Grand Prairie, Irving, in Arlington. So I went to college here, and I've been here for a long time. I have a pretty big network, and I would love to leave eventually, but right now I'm here. My family's here, friends here.
Where would you move to?
Probably California. I'm a Cali girl. I'm a hippie.
Yeah, Jen is a hippie to her core.
For sure. I love the vegan options that LA has too. Like to be able to go and get vegan Mexican food is a big deal. So yeah, definitely California.
Now, would you actually go vegan again? Jen actually used to be vegan. Would you go vegan again if you moved to Cali?
I think if the technology for the cheese is really my weakness, if it was to, just for some reason, all of a sudden there's a scientist who invents an amazing vegan cheese, and yeah, I could totally do it. But I'm not vegan because of cheese. We were just talking about charcuterie boards. Yeah,
yes.
Like that's my thing.
I don't think I could ever go vegan because I love charcuterie boards and I love prosciutto.
So, and I grew up not eating pork. So red meat, pork. I eat chicken and fish right now, but very, very often or very seldom do I really eat meat in a week.
So with you saying that, would you consider yourself a clean girl or a soft girl?
I would say clean girl, but minus the getting up early.
No, same. I'm the same way. I struggle with getting up early. I've tried to follow like all of those waking up plans that I've seen on TikTok. I can wake up and go to the gym, but for some reason, like I do not have the cognitive ability to journal in the morning. Like I'm not trying to be alone with my thoughts. The most I can do is go downstairs to the gym. I'll have my little workout, come back up, have a protein shake, and for like a few seconds while I'm doing my skincare, I'll say my affirmations, but like that's the most you're gonna get out of me. And like to me, that makes me feel like I've been productive.
That is productive. I think everyone has a different range of productivity. To me, in order for me to get up early, there has to be a nap time planned in my day.
Absolutely, Jen. You're my spirit
be tired.
Animal. Yes. I was telling someone else on the phone yesterday, we were talking about waking up early. And I told him that like on the weekends, I know I'm not a teenager, but if it's Saturday and nothing is planned, I'm going to sleep till noon because it's my right.
See, something happened to me when I was about 28 and I couldn't sleep in anymore. So the most I can sleep in is 10 a.m.
That's what he said too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
The latest I can do is like 10:30, but anything other than that, like he's up.
Yeah.
And he said he just always mentally prepares himself to take a nap later that day. But for me, like, I don't know, the way my life moves, I mean, TikTok probably knows, but like my life is nonstop. I may or may not get a nap. So I have to like go ahead and get all the sleep I can initially so I can be prepared for later.
It definitely has to be planned. I feel like if I get up on a Saturday at 9, which is usually like when my body wakes me up, between 7 and 9, if I take like a 2 to 3 o'clock nap, I'm good. But I get really grouchy when I'm hungry and when I'm like asleep. So for me, if I don't take a nap and like people want to go out, we have an event that night, I'm going to be grouchy. And no one's going to want to be my friend. So I try to make sure I get that nap in.
No, I feel you. And I automatically, like, I used to think this girl was crazy. She was on my cheer team a few years ago. When we were in high school, I would always ask her, like, hey, do you want to do something on the weekend? And she's like, well, I have to check because I might be tired. And I did not understand that in my childhood, but as an adult, I'm really getting it. She does not make plans for her future self without checking first. And I probably need to get better at doing that, because I'll make plans with people, and then when that time actually rolls around, I'm extremely tired and I either cancel or I show up and I'm Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah, that's not worth it.
Exactly. I might as well stay home and make everybody else happy, because if I come out, absolutely not.
So you spend a lot of time with yourself during the week then too?
And on the weekends.
And on the weekends.
But that's not a problem for me.
Okay.
Like, growing up, like, my mom used to always make my sister and I grew up with a sister. We were very close, kind of in age. We were 4 years apart. But my sister was always my best friend, and we spent a lot of time together. So, like, during the day, when we'd be at home, my mom would separate us and say, like, you know what? You two need me time, because you don't know who you are without her, and she doesn't know who she is without you. So you guys need to split up. And, like, for a while, I mean, I wouldn't say that it bothered me. I would be very bored during me time. Like, I'd be counting down the seconds until I could go play with my sister again. But in a way, it taught me how to be alone and, like, how to be okay with having my own company. And so, like, that's something that I'm really grateful for now, because it got to be something really good to get me out the house, child. I am not. The club is not it. It has to be a charcuterie board and some wine to get me out, or it has to be, I don't know, the Migos got to be here or something. But
an event.
Yes, something, an event where I can dress up and really pop out for. But on the regular, absolutely not.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm always out. I'm always doing something. I do have to schedule a day where I'm just by myself, where there's no friends, nobody coming in to my, trying to get time from me. So if I can do that, I'm good. But I'm an ambivert. So I love to be around people, but I also need my me
Your
time.
Space, absolutely.
I have sisters, and one of my little sisters, we're Irish twins. So we were 15 months apart.
Aww.
I wish I got that me time. I wish my mom had implemented that like your mom did, because it wasn't until I went at church from 5th grade to 6th grade and I had to go to the youth group without her.
Oh, yeah.
I struggled.
You didn't know who you were.
I struggled. I was so timid. I was just sad that she wasn't in there with me. And that was our first time. Like, it really triggered me. Like, I hated going to church camp. But I also went to an all-white church. So I was also the only Black person in the youth group. And it just, her and I were pairs. So it did hit me pretty hard.
Well, I feel like having a sister is like an automatic best friend. It's hard to be without them anyway.
Yeah.
So I could see how that could be hard for you, especially like being so young. I mean, my sister and I, granted, we were 4 years apart. So like, we were close growing up, like when we were in elementary school. But once I got into like middle school and high school, the age difference kind of really showed.
Yeah.
And 4 so like years, it made it hard. Because like we were in different stages of life. And now we're just not catching up on that closeness because like we both graduated from college. We're both living our lives. We're both working.
Yeah.
And so now like we've gotten back to being best friends. So those years that I guess I was in middle school and in high school and in college without her kind of really helped shape who I was or who I became. Because I was an ambivert too. And my sister was an introvert. But now I'm noticing that as I'm getting older, I'm becoming more of an introvert, more like her.
The pandemic did that too. A lot of people, before the pandemic, I was like 52-48, introverted, extroverted. During the pandemic, I took it's called the Myers-Briggs test. I was 60% introverted, 40% extroverted. So
wow.
I think I'm back to my groove as of like 2021. But during the pandemic, like you're in the house too. Yeah. So it could be something along those lines too. You were in the house. Were you like that before 2020?
No.
No?
I was not. No.
See?
But I also think that I exhausted myself because like when I graduated from college, a little bit before the pandemic, I was out every day. Like when I say every day, I mean Mondays I would stay in the house because Mondays are like terrible. But Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays at Trappiest Hour, Fridays at 3606, Saturdays level, Sunday level. So I was like doing all of that, all the Sunday fun day stuff. And then in 2020, like I guess that's when things changed a little, probably in 2019. Like I stopped going out as much.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think like I was living with my parents then.
Mm-hmm.
And so like leaving the house was like
You had
me
to, yeah.
like getting a break. So like it was something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
But now since I live alone and like nobody's really in my space, like I don't look forward to
And you pay for
leaving.
this
Yeah,
too, so
no.
it's like,
And then this month I had to pay a lot.
yeah.
So I'm about to use every day.
Right. I'm getting my money's worth.
Yes.
I'm home. I'm not wasting money at my boyfriend's house.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if I die, just leave me on the couch until October 1st rolls around.
See, that's your rent.
Exactly.
Get the compensation.
Yes.
That's so funny.
I need every day's worth.
I'm not home enough, but I love being home in the winter, especially. I feel like I'm not as outside as I would be.
I don't like winter like as a whole. It's too cold.
I agree. I'm a tropical
Like
girl.
I'm literally never leaving the house if it's cold. For one, I live in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my clothes are very skimpy. I do not have the facilities to support myself in the winter. Like I do not have clothing that.
You need a good parka.
Yeah.
Just one.
I mean, I have a parka, but like what's underneath is questionable.
You got to wear sweats and like loungewear is my favorite thing to wear in
That's
the winter.
all I wear in the winter with my Uggs. And this year I'm getting a new pair because yeah, mine are busted. Like it's time.
I hear Doc Martens are coming back.
I heard that too. And I see that they made some with fur.
Oh.
So I might be interested, but they're kind of heavy.
They are really heavy because that sole. I used to wear those in middle school. That's really good for like when you go to like Detroit and you have to deal with like the acid snow.
Yes, and I'm going to Detroit. I go every winter.
You should get some Doc Martens.
I might get some while I'm there.
That way you
or
don't
some
mess.
Timbs.
Yeah, I would say Doc Martens just because of that big sole that they have, and you're not gonna ruin your shoe or your Uggs.
Yeah, because mine. I think that's when my Uggs got really ugly when I wore them there.
Yeah, no.
Is even like I guess the salt that they have like destroyed not only the bottom but like the outside of the shoe too.
Mm-hmm. Doc Martens are the best route.
So have you seen this soft girl trend or soft girl aesthetic being heavily promoted in the media?
I have more so on TikTok. I haven't really seen a lot on Instagram. Barely on Facebook, but I have seen it on TikTok. And from what I see, my perspective is that a lot of these women are really wanting to do nothing but sit around and look pretty and dependable on a man. And it doesn't toot my horn.
Yeah, it doesn't serve me well.
It doesn't. I don't feel like it would be a wise decision to put all your eggs in one basket and to not have anything to do all day. I feel like it's a waste. But I also grew up in a very mission-driven household where like you have purpose, your day-to-day life and your plans, for each year has to lead up to something. And so to me, it feels like they're living a purposeless life. Yeah.
I definitely agree with you. I honestly couldn't agree more. And especially the part where you said it's teaching you to be dependable on a man. We've seen in history, like there's tons of single moms out there with men who couldn't even carry the responsibility of taking care of their child. Mm-hmm. Nonetheless, depend on them for anything related to finances. I just feel like that's kind of setting yourself up for failure. And to me, it's just not feasible. It's not something that is going to last long term. One thing that I do really like about the trend, it's been heavily promoted in the media for a little over a year now. Mm-hmm. And I've been on the fence about it because like some aspects I like, some aspects that I don't. But one aspect that I really enjoy is seeing a lot of women, especially Black women, embracing their femininity. Over the years, we haven't really been put into a space where we're able to do that just because pressures of society, the things that we face on a daily basis at work, at home, and in the media, it doesn't really allow us the space to do that. So that's one thing that I'm grateful for the trend that it promotes. But at the same time, I do think that it is deceptive and a bit oppressive.
Totally oppressive, especially, okay, so because I do consider myself an alpha female, but I am very feminine also.
Absolutely. Look at you. You're wearing pink.
Yeah. I would be described as a girly girl. Now, I can fight. I will argue with a man. I will talk back. Like, I will do all the things.
You don't have paw print tattoos and cheetah print.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
We know you're not for the streets.
No, I only have one tattoo. I literally feel like being a feminine woman, it is a way to exude your power in a room full of men, or in a business, or in, just the world where men exist. I think that is our power that we do have. But to make it to where I'm a docile person or easily manipulated or just go with the flow, I think it reminds me when I was right out of college, I worked at Bank of America. I worked in foreclosures, and I would be on the phones with a lot of women who would call in, and we're dealing with foreclosures. They didn't know they were in foreclosure. Their husbands died.
Imagine that.
And they were handling all the finances, and they had no idea of the condition that their husbands left everything. So not only do women historically and just now live longer than men, we're dealing with them being in control, leaving nothing, no type of information or communication.
And communication is already a struggle while they're living. So
then you're risking being homeless in your older age. Like, who wants that? 82 years old and having to go to the streets because your house is getting foreclosed on. If you did have children, they're not required for you to come live with them, or, vice versa.
Absolutely.
More than likely, most people who have children are in nursing homes because their children put them in nursing homes.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that a lot of people, because I'm child free by choice. So a lot of people will say, well, what about when you get older? Who's going to take care of you?
My mom always says that.
My money is going to take care of me.
Amen.
It's exactly. I'm going to hire people to wipe my butt if I need to.
As you should.
To get me out of the shower.
We have put all this money in our 401ks. I better hope that it go to use for something. Something
that and a lot of people, I know people who have lived a full life, and then once they retired, they lived 2-3 more years and died.
That's so sad. And that is another thing that I was telling someone the other day. I see all these people on Instagram becoming these masters in investment and all of these things, and everybody talking about saving for the future. And as you guys know, I recently took a trip to Europe, and it was very expensive, and there was part of me that was maybe I shouldn't go. Maybe I should save for the trip and wait until my 30s, or I could just go now. But I'm I'm putting all this money in a 401k, and I might not live to see it. I'm going to go to Europe today.
Exactly. You need to live in the present. I think that is important to prepare for the future, but living in the present, my dad actually, that's exactly how he thought. He's like, you have your money, you spend it. He's like, because if you don't have it when you're dead, your kids are going to get it, or your beneficiaries are going to get it. Exactly. You're not going to see it. Yeah, you're helping your legacy, but
what are you doing to help you?
For your? And I'm all about happiness over everything.
Yes.
All about
it.
it.
Aiko said it best.
Yes, she did. Oh, the entire song.
Yes.
Happiness over everything. And to be able to have my own finances and be able to track and be in control, that to me is something that our grandmothers and our mothers fought for us to have.
Absolutely.
Women were not able to have access to a bank account on their own until 1974. Their husbands or their fathers would have to pretty much co-sign that they can have a bank account. And I can't even imagine, my father's passed away. I don't have a man. I literally would be out here screwed. And I can't.
Exactly.
Oppressing. That's
very
what that
oppressing.
is.
And I also feel like you said, after our ancestors fought so hard for us to just have the simple things like a bank account or even the ability to vote, those are all things we did not have a voice in the past. And the fact that we fought so hard all of these years to have one, and people are just willing to give it away. I mean,
They don't understand.
Disheartening.
I don't think I think they're thinking from a very like self-centered point of view when they choose not to vote specifically. And I always have the same spew because too many people did die for our rights to also vote. And if we're not voting, then we're going to see the increased corruption that we're seeing here in Texas.
Absolutely.
And it's just going to continue. And is that what we want for our children?
I don't think so. I don't want that for mine.
I don't want kids, but I wouldn't want that for my nephews or nieces or the students I've taught, this future generation that's coming in. We're really putting them at a disadvantage when it comes to climate change, but also just being here and going backwards with our legislation.
Exactly. Like we've already gone back with the abortion ban and this soft lifestyle. I think I'm even wondering if this is something that we created or if this is an agenda that's being pushed on us with how many trends or how many TikTok videos I'm seeing a day pertaining to this. I don't know.
It's the patriarchy. I mean, you got men like Kevin Samuels and Andrew Tate who this is the type of woman that they want, honestly. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's being seen on both sides. There's a lot of, I call them pick-me girls.
Absolutely.
Who support this. And like when people say anything about Andrew Tate or Kevin Samuels or men of the such, they'll say, well, they're talking facts.
Yeah. Or
facts
they'll say
because it's the patriarchy.
It's just their preference.
Yeah, no.
Or men are already telling us what they want. And I'm just like, okay, men are telling us what they want. But at the end of the day, like, we as women have the control.
Yeah.
If we all don't feed into the male gaze or into this patriarchal society, at the end of the day, we can still have who we want.
Which is happening now. Like, I think women were rising up. Things are going to be changing, I'm hoping, for November. But I do think the patriarchy and the way things have been, that is the truth that they speak on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is true that the patriarchy has established this mindset.
But that doesn't mean we have to follow it.
And it doesn't mean it's the best route, especially at this point. Like, I believe in egalitarian relationships. Mm-hmm. I do not believe in patriarch over matriarch. I'm not operating like that. I think things need to be equal.
Absolutely.
Now, just because it's equal doesn't mean that it's the same. It's kind of like equity. What the definition of equity is, it's meeting people where they're at. And I do think that women, if they choose to be a stay-at-home mom or to not do anything, that is their preference, but it shouldn't be something that like, oh, you're not a woman or you're less of a woman if you're not doing this.
Yeah.
As if they say for alpha females, right? Mm-hmm. So alpha females, they're telling us we're too masculine, right? I don't think there's anything masculine about me.
I don't think so either. And in my TikTok comments alone, like you'll see a lot of those comments. I one time made a video about this soft lifestyle trend, just about how I feel like there's a lot of rights and wrongs when it comes to this trend. I've been seeing women saying that, oh, if you're going to be a soft girl, like this is the aesthetic you should follow. This is what you should wear. Mm-hmm. And they're turning femininity into like some sort of cult, like where we're one band, we have one sound, one look. And I just feel like femininity all depends on how you wear it. It looks different on me than it does on you.
Yes.
It looks different on Janae Aiko than it does on Kaylani.
Yeah.
So I posted this video and a lot of the men in my comment section were like, well, you're just too masculine to understand. If you don't get it, then you just don't get it. I'm just like, I feel like femininity does have one definition, but it doesn't have one look. It doesn't have one aesthetic.
It's the men who, because I don't think all men think like that. It's the men who feel entitled to that type of treatment. Maybe their grandmothers put up with their grandfathers' BS and they felt that as admirable and they were like, oh, grandma was a rider. Yeah, we don't want to ride no more.
I'm not riding and I'm sure as hell not dying. So
no, I'm like, if you're struggling, like get yourself together. I've broken up with men because they've been struggling, and this is like one of my favorite, we call them Jenisms. Things Jen says.
Let me take notes.
So to me, an ambitious woman's biggest downfall is a broke man.
Yes.
Okay. Now, do I need him to be filthy, wealthy, rich? No, I don't need that. But I need him to be able to sustain himself. I also, at the same time, this is the flip side of it, I don't think that and I've never lived with a man, but I don't think that if a man and a woman choose to live together, that things need to be split 50-50. It's not how I was raised. My dad handled the rent, mortgage. Mom handled groceries.
Yeah, same for me.
And that's how, to me, that's the only traditional bone you're going to see in my body.
Absolutely.
Other than that. Everything else, I mean, it's still egalitarian. It's just equity. It's different. It's not split at 50-50, you know?
And I also think that if you actually like do the math, your dad pays the mortgage, my mom's handling like our school uniforms, groceries, different stuff that we need on the daily.
Gas.
Yeah, gas. Like if you total it up, I think that it would come out the same.
I think so too.
I mean, she just has more bills over the amount of time that my dad does, which I also think that this works well because men kind of have a one-track mind. They can only remember a few things at a time. So just having to remember that one payment is better than him having to remember all the ones that my mom has to make.
You got to teach him young too, though. You got to teach him like as soon as day one hits and y'all are together, what are your expectations? What are the boundaries? And being able to have a man who can receive criticism but also give you criticism and, you know, equally yoked and being able to have that reciprocal relationship. That to me is what's important. These men who are commenting on your TikTok, you wouldn't even date these men.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, I have no clue why you even commented in the first place because I wouldn't have even looked your direction.
Right.
Like,
you could not.
What made you think that you were my type?
Right. You could not. And I think women who do settle for that will put up with that.
Absolutely. And they're okay with being easily controlled. And I think that the direction that society's going, a lot of women are realizing that they would rather be alone with themselves than to have a man just to say that they have one. Because a lot of men these days, I'm not trying to generalize the population, but it's not looking too good. It's not.
Psychology Today had that what is it? The article that came out.
Yes, a lot of women are choosing themselves. And I think that this is definitely something that I will applaud.
The men are miserable too.
Yeah, they are. And they're so miserable that they're projecting in my comments.
Right. Oh, they're going to continue. It's literally, we're at this point in American society where we're polarizing everything. So it's either Democrat, Republican,
soft
feminist,
or
misogynist.
Anti-feminist.
Yeah. Like there's no like in between, but we do have to take a stance and
realize that there's shades of gray.
I know somebody who, when they heard that Black women had the highest amount of college graduation rate in the country, they were disgusted by that. It was a man.
I actually made a TikTok about that, saying that Black women in the U.S. have the highest amount of college graduation rates. And the men in my comments told me that I was stupid, that I can't read stats, and that it's actually the Asian woman.
No, it's like everywhere. Everyone knows it.
Exactly. It's
common knowledge.
And it was actually something that was posted at my job. It was an article that we read that Black women are the most successful and the highest degreed.
But you know why?
Because Black women get bored and go get degrees?
It's not just that. I think it's a historical context. I think it goes back to Angela Davis has a book called Women, Race, and Class. In that book, she explains, we were kind of talking about it earlier, how Black women had to deal with Black women, Black men had to deal with Black men. There was not a time that Black men were able to protect Black women during enslaved times.
Absolutely.
And because of that, there's been this independence that has come up.
And it's also kind of become hyper independence.
Yeah. Oh, I know. For me, ever since my daddy died, I've been grinding. I couldn't depend on him. I wasn't going to depend on another man.
Absolutely not.
You know? So it was like when he passed away, 3 years later, I got my degree. You know, quit teaching and making money. But that was part of my drive. I was always able, when I was a teacher, to depend on him to give me anything I needed.
Yeah. And it's the same with my dad. Anytime like he gets a call from me, he already knows I want something.
See, we're daddy's girls. See, these men, once they become fathers to daughters, I feel like they do get it.
Yeah.
You know?
Eventually. And you know what? I definitely think that's true. Maybe that's all it's going to take. I don't know. I'm worried.
Have all boys. It's over.
Yeah.
It's over.
It's going to be a whole bunch of alpha males beating their chest.
Right. And not even strong alpha males.
No. The weakest links. It's always those
who talk the loudest.
Yes.
The ones who are in your DMs or who are commenting on your posts, they are the ones who are not doing anything with their lives. Because men who are established, men who do have a path and a vision for their life, I think a lot of times, there's two things that happen. They either are looking for a woman to compliment them, or they're looking for someone to fill in that place.
Yes.
Like, and I've dealt with men like that.
Like just a trophy.
Yes, they want trophy wife.
And I have been in a relationship like that before. I truthfully don't think that he wished me well at all. He just wanted me to be pretty. And that's how I know that the soft lifestyle doesn't work for me. Like, you can buy me whatever you want and I'm going to be grateful. But at the end of the day, like, I have to have my own voice. Like, it does not work for me.
Because a lot of them don't even like the women.
No.
And then they just drop them.
That's exactly what I'm seeing. Like, even on TikTok, like, we've had this discussion. As you can see, like, I'm always on that
TikTok.
app.
Yeah, I love TikTok.
I do too. I mean, I feel like it's better than Instagram because it's a lot less superficial. But
you can learn
a lot too on there.
Learning a lot of things, especially about any of your interests, type it in. And
it's almost kind of like Google. Like, now I don't even go to Google as much. I'll just go to TikTok and be like, how can I change the brakes on my car? And it'll tell me.
See, I've always done that with YouTube. I do that with YouTube. YouTube is my first. Then I'll go to TikTok. Then I'll go to Google.
TikTok has shorter form content though, because YouTube, like, you have to watch it for so long.
But what if you need to watch it for so long? What if it's like changing your brakes? Like, I don't think that's something that's going to be quick. Sometimes I want something that's more detailed. I have YouTube Premium too, so like there's no
so you
ads.
don't have the ads.
Yeah, I don't have any ads.
Because the other day, YouTube has lost their mind. They have it on there where you have to watch 5 ads before you can watch the video. I was like, okay, I'll subscribe today.
You definitely need to subscribe. I subscribed when it first came out. Because I was over the ads.
The ads?
Yeah.
It was just 1 or 2 back then. But now 5, like, you're pushing
That's too much.
You're severely pushing it.
I do my yoga. Actually, that's the only thing I pay for is YouTube.
The yoga?
Mm-hmm. No, YouTube Premium is the only thing I pay for.
So you don't have, like, Hulu or HBO?
I use other people's.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Like my mother's.
Absolutely.
Or my Disney.
I think I pay for one thing. I think I pay for Hulu, and that's it.
See, Hulu comes with my phone account.
Mine too.
Oh, do you? But that has ads.
Yeah, it does.
So you don't have ads if you pay for Hulu then. So you have the paid version. So can I use your?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, because I love.
I'll give you my password.
Rick and Morty.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you my password.
Okay.
But I have been seeing that a lot of people are using this soft girl lifestyle as an excuse not to work. Like, I keep seeing people that I know from like high school or people that I've known in life that never worked hard a day in their life, like cheated off my test. You know, those kind of people, they're now self-proclaimed soft girls. And I'm just like, so you've created a life of not working hard at all, and now you're going to brand yourself as a soft girl. I don't know. I feel like the soft girl aesthetic is a quick way to like block your own self from your blessings because like you're not working towards anything. You're not trying to achieve something. I feel like that's where it becomes dangerous. It has to be some sort of balance that comes into play.
Well, because, it's purposeless. But, like, even, let's say that tomorrow I'm marrying a multimillionaire, right? I'm still going to be doing charity work, working in the community. They're not even doing those things. Yeah. They're just sitting and looking pretty.
Going shopping.
And that, to me, is wasteful. Superficial. Like, it's a quick way to get bored. It looks really boring. Think about even the pandemic, like we were shut in. I mean, I was working out twice a day.
Me too, and I
still
still gained 15 pounds though.
Did you?
Girl, I was eating a lot of seafood boils.
Oh.
Love seafood boils.
See, I was vegan during that time.
Yes,
so I was
you
vegan
were.
and doing 2-a-days. So
I love that for you.
The best shape. I had to though. Like I had to be able to get out to keep my sanity.
Yeah.
But I do feel like I got bored and I was reading books like crazy.
Yeah, me too. And I even like started binge watching a lot of TV shows to the point where I had none left to watch.
There's like nothing. I think that happened to a lot of people. the cost of like bikes. Like I bought a bike.
Yeah,
during the
and you
pandemic.
customized it. It's cute.
Yes, I did. I had to. But they were like sold out for a really long time. Everyone was always like at Katy Trail, you know, just working out, walking, trying to get outside. At least we had that summer,
Yeah.
you know, that where we could go outside. It wasn't like in the middle of the winter when we had the beginning, you know.
Yeah.
March
I
13th.
remember- Yeah, it was like the day before my birthday. They closed everything down. And I remember on my actual birthday, like I was in the restaurant all by myself.
What?
Everybody canceled. They
It
didn't
was
come to my-
open.
Yeah, it was open. They didn't come to my birthday party because everyone was scared of COVID.
Everyone was so scared. Now it's monkeypox.
Yeah.
I'm terrified.
Girl, me too.
I
Like that
refuse.
is monkeypox is so ugly. Oh my gosh.
So bad. And like I have eczema. I've had rashes, like just because I have sensitive skin. And I'd rather had one called pityriasis rosea. That it looks like a ringworm. It's so gross. It looks like a ringworm. Usually it's from people's like waist and down. I had it from my neck up. So it was like on my face, on my neck. And like I went to a dermatologist. I'm like, what do I do to get rid of it? Because I had it for 6 weeks. We thought it was ringworm. So finally when she's like, it's not ringworm. It's something that looks like ringworm, but it's actually a virus. And she gave me some steroid cream and it was gone in like 3-4 days. I would rather have that come back than
get
have
monkeypox. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I was nervous about going like overseas so far and like contracting monkeypox. I'm not quite sure if like monkeypox has been found in Europe yet, but I'm sure it has because Europe is like kind of like America.
Yeah, it's very similar. I know that my issue with what's going on with monkeypox is that we haven't even said anything to women about a vaccine. We're only targeting
Gay men.
And and that's the thing, I have a lot of gay male friends. So I'm like, I'm hanging out with them. Why can't I?
Yeah.
So I actually did sign up
To get it?
to get it.
Girl, I'm scared of getting another vaccine.
I want it. No, I'm all about. I got
You got
tetanus,
your fourth COVID
flu. No, I haven't. I'm gonna get my next COVID
Girl,
booster in 2 weeks.
Not. Why?
I got the flu shot because one, I have asthma,
Mm-hmm.
and COVID caused me to have a lot of anxiety with my asthma,
too.
and I felt better that I had a booster because I got my second booster, December of last year, like right before my birthday. Got COVID this year, January 8th.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Our friend gave it
Yeah.
to us. Okay. Gave it to me. To me, I feel like I've been good. I always get the flu if I don't get the flu shot. So I got my flu shot last week. I'm going to wait 2 weeks and then get the COVID booster. That's my plan. Because in the winter, you're inside more, you know, the vitamin D is not killing the viruses because you're inside. So it's more about if we're going to do this for the rest of our lives, we might as well. And Biden did yesterday, what is he? Oh, yeah, he said that the pandemic is over, like officially.
It's over?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank
Oh,
God.
yeah, he said it.
Oh, thank God.
He
But
said
that
it.
also means we have to go back to work, guys. So,
People are going back to work.
yeah.
I'm okay with hybrid. I mean, I don't want to go to work tomorrow, but I'm okay with it.
I am grateful that my job is in Vancouver.
Oh, yes.
So, like,
So nice.
yeah and no.
Will you ever have to go?
I hope not.
Okay.
I don't know. The other day, one of the guys on our meeting was talking about like possibly doing a conference and how they're going to promote the hell out of it so that people here would get FOMO, but like I'm not gonna get FOMO.
Oh, yeah.
Like I don't want to go.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to at all.
No.
I hear Vancouver is nice in the summer.
Yeah.
It is cold, though, in the winter. I hear that it's like really nice, though. Like neighborhoods look like suburbia, Highland Park neighborhoods is what I heard.
I'm more of a city girl.
Okay.
I want it to be dirty.
You want it to be dirty?
Yes.
That's why you live
like
in the
New
city.
York. Yes.
I don't want to live in a city. I like to live like not in the suburbs. I like where I live. Like it's city, but it's still like I can see grass. I can't do concrete. I like trees. I'm a hippie.
Yeah, you're definitely a hippie. I love not having a backyard. I don't want to see grass. It makes me itch.
What?
That's also why I have a very small dog so that he does not have to run outside and play.
Okay.
And my dog doesn't like outside either, so.
Oh, he's, they say the dogs are just like their owners.
Yes, and he also has severe anxiety, so.
That's so funny. That is so funny.
So, okay. What is one of the things that you like about the soft girl trend?
I think I love fashion. I love the aesthetics, I'd say, of taking care of yourself.
Absolutely.
That's about it. That's about it. Other than that, I just see patriarchy being upheld.
Yeah.
And I know I have friends who are a lot more conservative than I am, and they want to be taken care of. And I have a lot of girlfriends actually just throughout life, like they've always looked for a husband.
Mm-hmm.
I don't actively look for a husband.
And that is another thing that I want to talk about in another show.
Okay.
Because I have some trauma around that. And part of it comes from like church.
Mm-hmm.
But, that's a topic for a different day. But yes, I used to be the type of person that like would date expecting to marry.
Mm-hmm.
But I quickly found out that is not the wave.
Men can just tell you that they want to get married and hold that over your head. And I hate that, which is why in my mind, I might end up getting married one day. Who knows? But in my mind, I am completely content being single into my elderly years.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. I also, because we know that single women are happier, I know I'm going to be happy. I'm not going to live a happy life, I also think that if I prepare for that, I'm not shocked. Like I know a lot of women who are older who never married, but they're shocked about it.
Yeah.
I'm not shocked. Like this is the plan, and if you get me off of my plan, you must be amazing. Yeah, good for you. I'm a runaway bride. Let me say that too. So my biggest fear is living in a man's shadow. Mm-hmm. Because I'm too bright.
And that is something that I also like. I'm very big on phrasings. Mm-hmm. And whenever they say behind every man is blah, 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 like absolutely not. It's no way in hell I'm ever going to be behind anyone. Mm-hmm. I shine too bright. I'm either going to be next to or in front of.
Yeah. I'll be in front of.
He can get behind me.
I'm okay with him supporting me.
Yeah.
But I am okay with like things being reciprocal, and having the balance and, back to the egalitarian. I'm okay with that. But I think that when you live a soft life, you claim to have that, you are automatically, it's not about you, it's about him.
Exactly.
And it's already hard for me to date men with kids because it's not about me.
It's giving sit down and shut up.
Yes.
Like it's taking me all the way back to like slavery.
It's like, oppression.
Yes.
Yeah. It's oppression.
It's not something that I feel like I can get with. One thing that I truly dislike about this trend is the fact that they take qualities like ambition, being goal-oriented, discipline, just having work ethic and consistency and liking to be that way. I hate that they directly associate these qualities with masculinity.
It's not even how I was raised. Like I have 4 sisters. My dad and my mom put a lot into us to be who we are today. All of us are successful. All of us are intelligent women. And I don't know. I feel like my parents raised us, like when I first learned how to drive a car, I had to learn how to change the tire of that car. Now, today...
Jen, you're a bad bitch.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Today, the lug nuts are too tight for me to get because they put them on with the machines.
Oh, gosh.
Now, but I can give instructions to a man who doesn't know. Is he going to come and look at me as I'm masculine because I know?
Probably.
My dad taught me how to walk into AutoZone or any dealership and make things happen. And make sure that they don't take advantage of me. Mm-hmm. Those are things that I think is a good quality for me to have.
Absolutely.
And if I was living this soft life, then it's like, I'm always going to be a damsel in distress. No, I don't want to be in distress. I want to handle it myself. I feel so happy that I have that opportunity to, because I could have been born in a different time.
Yeah, exactly. One thing that I do want to say, in my past years, like every new car that I've gotten, my dad has always been the negotiator.
Okay.
And like for me, I'm not gonna say like it got on my nerves, because like I appreciated the fact that he did it, but it was always something that I wanted to do.
He needs to teach you. I mean, you're in sales.
Don't worry,
like, you can do this.
I studied him.
Yeah.
Every time I got a new car, I listened to what he was saying. Anytime that he was going to negotiate for anyone's new car, I listened to everything, the interest rate, gap insurance, all of that. And so in January, someone actually hit my car in the parking garage and just left it dented. So I went to go get the car fixed at the dealership, and they were like, actually, we need to buy this car from you ASAP, because it's someone like on the sales floor that wants to purchase it. So they were like, we'll write you a check today. You can go get whatever car you want. I'm like, okay, bet. So they sold me my car, wrote me a check, and I took it to the Jeep dealership. And I was like, I want that car. And so I was able to go through all of the negotiation. I got a great interest rate and made sure that I was not getting taken advantage of. And it brought me such great joy to be able to go to my dad and say, look, I got a new car and I did not need you to negotiate for me.
Was he proud?
Yes. I showed him the paperwork. I was like, look at this. Look at my interest rate. And he was like, you did a good job.
Good. See, that's what matters. I feel like our parents teach us, and they should be able to trust us to handle things on our own. So I love that he was supportive of you doing that too.
Absolutely.
Did you tell him afterwards, or did you tell him like while you were going through it?
No, I told him after.
Okay.
I felt like he was gonna come up there,
Yeah.
or try and tell me not to do it.
Yeah, you don't want the negativity.
Yeah,
like I'm getting this car.
Yeah, I mean, it all happened like all at once. We were at a conference, I think, at Ice Station.
I think so.
And I was at the dealership on Zoom, like, absolutely not. I will not take that interest rate.
I do remember this now.
Yeah, I was like,
That is so funny. I purchased my car 2 years after my dad passed away, and it was this kind of the same.
Aww.
But it was also I actually purchased the car 2 years and a day before his like passing date, so that was like my present to myself.
Aww.
Yeah, but I mean, I got a really good deal, and now the way like, you know how cars are super expensive right now because of inflation and or whatever. I don't even know what's going on. What I paid for my car, it was depreciating, at a crazy rate.
And
but
now it's up. Yeah, same.
I'm not upside down. Like everything's great.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get another vehicle until like later on, but I do feel like having that moment for myself, like I'm all about Beyonce, Destiny's Child, independent ladies, like women. That is my song. And I felt like that moment, to be able to do something by myself.
Yes. It brings me such great joy. And that's when I realized, like, today I'm officially an adult.
Yeah.
Like,
You've been an adult.
I made my parents proud. I made me proud.
Yeah.
That's really what matters.
That's what matters, for sure. Because when they're gone, you're still going to be here having to navigate and do everything. And I am glad that my dad taught me those things. So I wasn't, getting to that point and like freaking out, not knowing what to do and calling another man.
Yeah, absolutely.
No. I can do it.
Well, I'm not going to change a flat tire. I will call AAA just because, girl, I cannot sweat my hair out. Like,
you don't know you have no idea what's going to ever happen. Like you might be in the middle of a mountain, nobody's around, you don't have service. You need to know.
I might need to learn how to change.
It's a security thing.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. Okay. Noted.
Worst case scenario.
Yeah. Because I did not think about that. And a Jeep is a car that you would have in the mountains. Like that would possibly happen to me.
That's the point.
Okay, Jen. Noted.
Yep.
So living a soft life initially started as a trend, like where you're supposed to like prioritize your own happiness. But I'm kind of seeing it like, I also feel like it means knowing your worth and not waiting for anyone to like give you anything. Well, initially that's what it started as, but now it's starting to become the worst, like the opposite. So is this still something, or is this trend something that you see yourself implementing into your own life?
No, I feel like I don't really not into trends. Like even like when I think about like clothes, I'm not buying trends.
Absolutely.
So I'm not attracted to trends. Anytime they do like the challenges or anything, like I don't know if I'm like past it to where I'm like, I don't have to do what everybody else is doing, you know? I feel like I'm pretty secure in who I am, my personality. And I think the goal is to just continue being who I am and just living my life in the journey that, or the purpose that I'm supposed to have right now. So
I love that.
It's just where I'm at.
And I totally agree with you. For me, I would say the soft girl trend is an absolutely not.
So it's established.
Yes.
It's a no.
It's a no for me. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I really appreciate you being my super awesome guest star. And hopefully we have some more things to talk about. Would you come back on the show?
Absolutely.
Did you enjoy your
time? Love to. Yes. It was so much fun. It's like we were just talking without everybody.
Yes. Okay, great.
Thank
so
you for having
same
me.
time next week.
Yes. Sounds great.
Let's
okay,
shake
girl.
on it.